In this video, I'm going to talk about how to compose the lab report for the simulation part in EE178. Okay, so as you can see, there's the lab assignment. We can see that you can always find that from UV And now I'm going to show you how to compose the lab report regarding to the second experiment in lab 4, which is the 2-1 max. And in my first video, I just demonstrated how to build this circuit in this simulation platform. Okay, and now let's just continue with our simulation. Okay, here we go. That's the simulation, the circuit we just built in our first video. And now, give a better demonstration about how the circuit works, maybe we can put some label to those inputs. For example, for this one, we can label that with an A. And for the second input, label that with B. And for the third input, because that's 2mx, so basically the select. And for the output, we assume that is called Y. Okay, and from now on, for every lab report, you always need to include your name and person numbers in each screenshot. And one of the ways I suggest you to do is try to use the output and just drag one of the components, for example, the LED. Drag two LED in your circuit, and you can label that with your name. Maybe your name is Tony Stark. Oh, sorry, Stark. Okay, and right now the default setting is on the bottom. We can put that to the right. Okay, and also the person number. Let me take a look. What is that's okay, and that's the person number. All right, and still let's put them to the right. Okay, so that's the simulation result from the circuit. And now you need to take several screenshots and include that in your lab report. How to do that? For example, because this is a 2-1 max, and when the select input is just 0, you need to show that for the input A, no matter that is 0 or 1, actually the Y doesn't follow. It doesn't really matter. But when the select equal to 0, Y equals to B. And when select equal to 1, Y doesn't follow with B, but Y equals to A, obvious. Okay, how to do that? For my suggestion, of course, you have totally 3 input, binary inputs, so you can have up to the power 3, which is 8 different combinations. But for 2mx, we don't really need to show off them. For example, if the select is just 0, and I turn on A, as you can see here, Y doesn't follow. Okay, now we can take a screenshot. For MacBook or Windows notebook or computers, you have different control for the screenshot. Right now, what I have a Macintosh, so I use Command Shift and 4. That's a screenshot 1. Okay, and I turn that off. Turn B on. As you can see, Y equals to B. So now I am going to take the second screenshot. Okay, and then I turn S to be 1. As you can see here, Y doesn't follow with B, but is following A. So I keep B to be 1, Y is 0. I take the third screenshot. Alright, then let's move to the last one. Turn the A to be 1, Y still equal to 1. It doesn't follow with B. I took the fourth screenshot. Okay, here we go. We have totally 4 screenshots. Now let's try to compose our lab report. Initially, you can always modify the lab assignment. You can find it on the UV which is a Microsoft Office Word document. We have very brief description. We don't really need to modify that part. And here, I just try to give an example solution for experiment 2, which is a 2mx. And the task is given, and now you need to list all the components you use in the experiments. As you can see, we have 3 LEDs, 2 AND gates, 1 NOT gate, and 1 OR gate, and a whole bunch of LEDs. Of course, we have those logic inputs. Okay, let's go back. We have first, that's some whole bunch of logic inputs. Secondly, we have multiple LEDs, and we have AND gates. We have a NOT gate, and we have an OR gate. Okay, let's quickly check. Yes, that's everything we have. So that's the whole list of components we used in this simulation. And, oh, sorry, my bad. It's not here. It's supposed to be under the components. Okay. So, of course, I can make some notes. I already have that into this document. In the experiment, we built a 2mx with listed components, and we found that when s equal to 0, but a, then y follows b, but a has no effect. When s equal to 1, y follows a, but b has no effect. Now let's try to include those screenshots in our document. Okay, so just put it aside. That's the first one, second one, third one, and the last one. Okay, right now this seems to be a little bit too large, so I can try to make them a little bit smaller. Okay, 13, I think that's a good number. Maybe 12. Okay. Just make them nice and aligned with each other. And also for the other two. Okay, you don't need to be that accurate. Then for the first two, as you can see, the S select input equal to 0. So basically, those two figures just demonstrate that. That's part 1. Y S equal to 0, then y equals to b. Okay. And okay, s equal to b. Okay, and for this one, for the next two, number 2, s equal to 1, then y equals to a. That's exactly what we see, what we find from those two screenshots, right? Okay, so that's basically everything we need to compose this part of the lab report. And in total, for example, for lab 4, maybe we have 4 different experiments from the 3 majority, 2mx, 2 for decoder, and 4-bit store log. Here we just go through the part which is 2mx, and I hope that it's clear enough. And again, just want to repeat that every time when you take a screenshot, don't forget to include 2 components with your name and the person number on that. Then that will identify, that's the identity for this picture, that means you did that. Okay, so that's everything. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I would be happy to answer any questions regarding to the simulation and the labs. Thank you.